What do you pack when you're walking into a forest? Not for a hike, not for a vacation, but to wander, to seek, to teach, to learn. Picture yourself standing in front of a dense, dark, deep forest. You don't know anything about this forest. You don't know the terrain. You don't know the animal songs. You don't know the bird songs, sorry. You don't know the habit of the animals. All you have is a backpack. What would you put in this backpack? We always think about migration in terms of logistics, in terms of visas, passports, jobs, places to stay. But let me paint you a different picture. I came to Ecuador not just for a change of scenery, not seeking an adventure to meet somebody new. I came here seeking something deeper. When I packed my bags in India, I put everything in a truck. I sent it off to my friend's place. I didn't know if I were going to go back to India or whatever. I just sent everything to my friend's place. I packed my bags, came to Ecuador. I did all my visa stuff. And then I was standing at the gates of the airport. And I was looking out and I was like, okay, I don't know anybody here. I don't speak the language. I don't even have a cell phone connection. I don't know how I'm going to survive this. I was terrified. And I realized that Ecuador is my deep, dark, dense forest that I had to navigate. When people migrate, they're not just navigating new streets. They're not just navigating new languages. They are navigating new values, new norms. Every pause, every glance, every gesture, they carry meaning. But as a migrant, you're expected to integrate. You're expected to function. You're expected to contribute immediately. You're expected to integrate. How much integration is too much integration? How much adaptation is erosion? At the end of the day, are you left with something after all the adaptation and integration? We always speak about multiculturalism, and we celebrate that. It is what we are supposed to do. We all live together, great. But we never pause and contemplate what it costs an individual to perform multiculturalism. This is when I look inwards. This is when I look at my backpack that I packed from India. And I look at it and I think, what do I have in there? I packed my bag quite carefully, to be honest. I packed it with values, with stories of my grandmother, with the lessons of spices in my mother's kitchen, with the lessons of curiosity towards plants my father had taught me. Sorry. And the respect that you carry for your elders. And more than any of that, I carried dharma, which is what my religion has taught me. To never shy away from what is truth, and never shy away from what your duty and purpose is. And I made a very conscious choice. I made the choice to teach without preaching, to learn without losing, to share without polluting, and to offer without erasing. So what I did was I cooked, I danced, I sang, and I invited people to my house. I invited Ecuadorians, Armenians, not Australians, I don't have Australian friends, Americans, English people, Germans. I invited Colombians and Venezuelans to my house, and we cooked We cooked Indian food, we cooked American food apparently, but we made burgers and Italian food and called it American. I don't know if that is American, but we did that. And I consciously made arepas when Colombians and Venezuelans are in my house because I love to see them fight about the origins of arepas. And I obviously made tea. And they would ask me, a particular friend who was in the audience would ask me to make chai tea. And then I would ask him to leave my house because chai tea is a redundancy, you know. Chai is chai and tea is tea. And anyway, I would do all of that. It was not easy at all, to be honest. In some days I felt too foreign, and some days I didn't feel foreign at all. Some days I felt like I was lost. But I would always go back to my backpack and I would always look at it and see, what am I ready to give away? And what am I never going to give away? What are my non-negotiables? And I'm going to hold on to those non-negotiables. Now imagine this on a global scale. Imagine every migrant had their backpacks packed consciously. Every migrant is ready to share their stories, ready to share their songs from their childhood, ready to share the language of their emotions, ready to share all of that. And they pack all of that in their backpack and then they travel. And not only that, imagine every host community has the kindness and the empathy to ask this question, not the question like, how will you change to adapt to us? But they would ask this question, what have you brought that we need? I have two examples that are quite sad. Indians migrate everywhere. I mean, I don't know if you would expect an Indian to be in Ecuador, but here I am. We are everywhere. And I have an example of Indians who would move to America. And it's quite sad because after 2 years, they turn into this weird, unrecognizable amalgam. They are too American to be an Indian, and they are too Indian to be an American. And we wouldn't know what to make of them. We are like, this is an alien. And as an English teacher, I have seen another quite grotesque example of this sort of acceptance of multiculturalism, which is some of my colleagues would call themselves equagringo. And a part of me dies every single time I hear that. Because equagringo is half Ecuadorian, half gringo, or I always think about how much they had to give up to become equagringo. Is it 10% Ecuadorian and 90% gringo, or is it, I don't know how much of themselves died. When you pry culture away from people, all you're left with is husks of people. And they all sort of work together in that mindless farm where they consume and produce among themselves with no meaning and no soul and no culture. So my call for you is to pack your bags carefully. All global citizens, I'm sure all of you are ready to travel to all around the world. Some of you are already here. All global citizens, aspiring and current. My call is to pack your bags carefully. Pack your bags with your stories, with your language, with your dreams, with your aspirations, and share it with the host community. I am not discouraging you at all to not travel. The world is beautiful. It can be quite a tolerant place. It can be quite a peaceful place. It can be a quite positive place with acceptance. All we have to do is to ready to listen to their stories. Storytelling can be a bridge, it can be a song. Social integration can be a dance. It doesn't have to be a compromise. So remember, teach without preaching, learn without losing, share without erasing, and offer without diluting. Thank you.